Happy Thursday, you guys. I wanted to come in here and do a quick follow-up for all of you who've been following us on social media, attended our Perfect Storm workshop, and you've brought your kids in, or maybe you're thinking about bringing your kids in here, and you're wondering, what is this all about? What's going on? What is neurological-based care? How is this actually helping the kids? And some of the stuff that we go through on our workshop is some of the components that we find with someone that's got some neurological struggles. And interestingly enough, our theme has continued of we find a lot of these components in the kids that are coming in. And a lot of them have had some neurological insult very early on, either even conception or during pregnancy there was some trauma, during the birth process there was an injury, they might have spent time in the NICU, already sought out some services, been to the OT, reduced their diet, took away gluten, dairy, soy, added essential oils, added in supplementation, and they're like, it's still there, but it's just lessened. They tell us the same story of like, they're perfectly fine unless, we encounter some pollen, or unless we go into a loud classroom and it re-triggers it. And that's a little bit like pouring salt on a wound. It's a wound that's been there and we just stopped pouring salt on it. All of those things are going to help. Reducing stress in our life is going to help. Making neurological changes, helping try to calm their brain, helping them self-regulate. Doing that is pouring less salt on that wound. But if that wound can't heal and that wound is still there, we can still see it, and we see it on our neurological scans. We see it in everyday life when they're in here. A lot of what we're trained to do is recognize that, and much of what we're looking at is the way that they move their body. We look at the physiological components of how their brain is processing information, because our physical body is a huge and 100% representation of our physiological body. Our physiology inside, how our body moves, is representing how well the brain is processing information. And that's a big component of what we look at. And if it can't handle that well, we know it's not going to be able to handle extra sensory issues like loud noises and bright lights and a lot of people and too many, tasks at one point of like, my kid still can't pick up 15 toys, they have a meltdown, we have to tell them just pick up this one and then pick up this one. That's a lot of self-regulation that's still going on. So there's still salt being dumped on that wound, and we need to be able to change that. We need to be able to change the neurological pattern, and that's what we do in here, and that's how we help kids. So if you are thinking, okay, I need to know more about this, I've stopped salting the wound, but I know the wound is still there and I don't want to poke a bear because I don't know what this is going to turn into. Because often they'll say, they'll outgrow it, but it'll turn into something new that they grow into. And that's often what we find, especially when our kids with teens that are in here with anxiety and depression and focus issues. Some of what they struggled with when they were younger on with emotional regulation and maybe motor movement is now developed into something different, as our bodies and our brains are always trying to adapt and change. So if I'm talking to you and you need to hear more information, you are in luck. I've got a lot more videos, but I also have one huge opportunity for you on February 6th at 6:45. We're going to be back at Two Rivers Clubhouse serving parents again and spreading this message. We've been in your shoes. We've looked for the answers, and we thank God we're able to help our own son, and we want to be able to help your kids as well, because we believe that everybody deserves to live life at an elevated level. We deserve to experience life to the fullest. I want you to be able to do that in your home and with your kids. So register. I hope to see you there. Dinner's included. We'll just sit down and have a really good conversation about if you like science, you're going to love it. If you like other parents who are also like-minded, you're going to love it and get a lot of takeaways. So we'll have handouts for you there. We'll have some more research articles there. If you like that kind of stuff, take your notes and be ready to connect with us. I'll talk to you soon.